Suzuka,
You're crying.
and Tsubasa, and Vampire Night. Oh my gosh, there's Fred, the guy that looks like a girl. Last week I was at a convention, somebody said, what was it like playing a woman? I'm like, wait a minute, when did I play a woman? He's like, Fwen. I'm like, Fwen wasn't a woman. They just wore makeup and dresses. And talked like one was a man. There you are. Thank you, sweetie. Yes, my dear.
Hi, my name is Mary, and I have a fundamental question.
Bring it.
Okay, you said when you're recording, you're in a box.
Yeah.
I've heard that people get bombed sometimes while recording by other voice actors.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Can
You mean people record something for us to hear? That's.
Like, I've heard that people can be recording something and a line's coming up that you've heard 100 times and somebody says something completely out of the ordinary.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Do you have an example?
Yeah, plenty of examples. That would be like a whole different panel. I mean, we can fill a panel with those. There's nothing quite like hearing your cute little brother Al drop the F-bomb. How's that? I'll just let that one sit on you for a minute. Just let you contemplate that for a moment. I was recording something, one of the early episodes, where Ed and Al were walking away from Winry's house, and Winry yells out, "Don't forget to be home for dinner, we're having stew." Remember that?
Yeah.
And Al turns around and goes, "Yay, stew!" And I'm like, "Yeah, whatever," you know? So I'm getting ready to record, "Yeah, whatever." And I'm expecting to hear Al go, "Yay, stew!" So like, all right, let's record. Boop, boop, and all of a sudden I hear Al go, "F yeah!" All I could think was, I'm telling Mom? You won't be allowed to do alchemy for a week. There are plenty of those. How many of you guys watch a show on Cartoon Network called Kakaishi that I play Yoshimori in? I love that show. Well, there's my spirit dog, Mararao, who floats beside me, right? And if you've seen the show, you know that there's something unique about him. He doesn't have any legs. He's just this long tail with a dog's head. That's Japanese. What will they think of next, right? So they come up with the coolest characters and the craziest designs and amazing creative stuff. So as soon as I saw that character for the first time, Mararao, I'm like, I was in the booth alone, and the directors and the engineer were in the control room, and I see him, and I'm like, "What's that?" And they're like, "Well, that's your spirit dog. He kind of senses the Ayakashi, and his name is Mararao." I'm like, "It looks like a sperm with a dog's head." Parents, don't get upset. It's a medical term. Sperm. We're not getting dirty. It's just a medical term. So one of the first lines that I was supposed to record, saying something to Mararao, was like, I don't know, "Hey Mararao, do you sense an Ayakashi here?" Let's say that was it. Well, I thought it would be fun to go, "Hey sperm dog, do you sense an Ayakashi here?" So when Troy Baker came in to record Sperm Dog, because he was the voice of Mararao, they talk like this all the time. Oh, Yoshimori, don't do that. So 2 weeks later, Troy Baker comes in to record Sperm Dog. I'm sorry, Mararao. And there's some mother in the room right now going, "Stop saying sperm. Please, for the love of God, stop saying that word." He came in to record Mararao, and I had left him a little bomb. And at the moment that he heard it, he texted me. So I was off in LA doing something 2 weeks later, and I get a text message from Troy Baker, and it said, "Sperm Dog, Alexis, nice." We You leave lots of bombs. Thank you, sweetheart. Hi, cutie.
Hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. Thank you.
I have a question and a comment.
Okay.
First question, what was your inspiration for Todd of the Rings?
Have you guys seen it yet? Okay, wait a minute. See, now we got a whole new problem here. How many of you have not seen Todd of the Rings? Okay, get home now. You too. Todd of the Rings. Okay? I don't want to give Todd Habercorn any more attention than I already have. Okay, so let me just try to say this very quickly. A few years ago, Todd and I were working on a production. I was actually directing a production, and he was helping. He was my assistant director. And I decided it would be fun to make a little tribute video for him. It was just a joke. It was just meant to be for fun. And so I made this thing, and he made one back. I was like, oh, I see how it is. So I made another one. And he made another one back. And every time he would make another one back, every time he would retaliate, he would kind of amp it up a little bit. Like the first time I made it, it was literally his name on a black screen with opera music. It was nothing. But when he made his retaliation, he put like pictures. And then I made one with pictures, and then he made one where he got other voice actors like on screen in it. I was like, oh, okay, I see. You want to play? You want to go? So I made the most epic, is it on here? I would show it if it was on here, it's not. I made what I think was the most epic. I thought this was going to bury him. I thought this was like the end. He would give up after this. I made something called the Todd Habercorn action figure. How many of you have seen that one? Okay, clearly not enough of you again. It was a commercial for an action figure, and it's just really funny. I wrote an original jingle to it. Michael Dorn. Okay, is anyone going to go down and get Michael Dorn's signature this weekend? Will you do something for me, baby? Will you? I want you to go up to Michael Dorn, and I want you to say this to him, okay? I want you to say, I loved you in Star Trek, but even more, you were amazing in the Todd Habercorn action figure commercial. Will you say that? Will you do that? Oh, as many of you as go down to get Michael Dorn's autograph, say your work in the Todd Habercorn action figure commercial was beyond belief. It changed my life. Okay? He was in it, Richard Hatch, my buddy, from Battlestar Galactica. So anyway, I did this, and I'm like, okay, he's done, right? How's he going to beat this? Well, he made another one. And I'm like, doggone it, Todd, lay down. Right? Don't you know when you've been defeated? So then now the fans are starting to expect them. They're like, what's your next one, Vic? And I'm like, oh, crap. So I thought, I'm going to make something that is going to be so epic, so big, so huge, that there's just no beating it. There's just no way. And so I made the most, am I wrong? It's the most awesome most awesome video ever, Todd of the Rings. Now you can imagine how epic with that name. I got the whole fellowship together, full costumes. The Todd Habercorn action figure from the commercial, I played Frodo. And I had it hanging around my neck. And it was gold-plated, like the ring. And the quest was to return it to Mount Doom and throw it in so that he would be destroyed. You guys, it's off the charts. It is absolutely, in the first 3 days it had like 15,000 views. You guys need to check it out. It's a lot of fun. It's 24 minutes long. It's like a mini epic feature. And I got like little boys to pretend to be hobbits so that we could do the whole size relationship thing, you know? And like Boromir's chasing Frodo trying to get the action figure, the Todd. And I got a little boy actually dressed as Frodo running around. And like Gollum, I had digital effects guys literally put the action figure in Gollum's hands. It's awesome. You gotta check it out. I have 15 minutes left. Okay, we're gonna make really good use of 15 minutes. Okay.
And then
Thank you for asking.
I have one comment.
I know your commitment to the con and a lot of people who love you, but I wanted to remind you about the dinner going on tonight.
Thank you. Yes. Yes.
And we have cards.
Yes. If you guys, thank you. I've got some. How many of you guys are Risen Bull Rangers? Okay. Awesome, dude. I love you, baby. I'm going to have these cards at the panels, and I'll have them at the autograph session. They'll be on the table. If you're not a member, grab one. It's free to join, and you would instantaneously find yourself with a family around the world of 16,000 people who love what you love, and we've had people make friends, make best friends in the Rangers. We've had people meet and get married to someone they met in the Rangers. Parents, we've got moderators in place all the time in all of the chat rooms and forums and art galleries and all of it to make sure that the topic of conversation is not anything that you wouldn't want your kids to be exposed to on the internet. Yeah, exactly. Wonderful, wonderful group. I could not say enough good things about it. So please grab a card and consider yourselves personally invited to join us. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. Yes, my dear.
I have a request that might be a little strange for my sister, but she's here for the first time meeting you. So
Where is she?
Her name's Leanne.
Where? Oh, the one that's not looking now. The one, everyone else is looking here, and she's going.
She happens to really like Tom and Dark and the Angel. And I have a request for you that I really don't want her to know about.
It's going to be hard for her not to know.
I mean, like, what it is, though. It's either Tom and or Dark.
Okay, what is it? What's the request? Don't you think she knows what we're talking about? I'm sensing she knows. Really? Are you guys going to come to the autograph session later?
Yeah.
Then I will absolutely do that. You got something coming, girl. Oh, yeah. It's coming. Okay. Ooh. I think I know who you are.
Yeah.
Orochimaru?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. What's your question?
Being a thespian myself, but no one cares.
I care.
No, this is more important. So, no matter where you act, be it, voice acting, live theater, film, TV, any character that you play, you learn something new about yourself. And I was wondering if you'd like to share with us anything, like, really insightful that you learned about your own personality by playing so many different people.
Wow. Wow. That's a great, yeah, right? We just jumped into the deep end there. Yeah, the problem with the deep question is, especially one you haven't been asked before, is you have to take a minute to really think about it. I would probably say that if I had to pick one character that I feel like had the biggest impact on me, it would definitely have to be Ed. Now, I would say that for a couple of reasons. Number one, my parents divorced when I was 9, and my dad took off. Now, you know what that means? Just like Ed now. Dad's gone around 8 or 9 years old, right? I mean, so when Ed was dealing with all that bitterness toward Hohenheim, I connected with that. And when Hohenheim shows up toward the end of the series, and Ed punches him in the face, and he's and he's angry and bitter and calling him names, and because he left them, and I really identified with that. Conversely, there was something about Ed that really I loved that was not like my own real life, and that was I'm an only child. Which means my whole life I always, if I could have had any type of sibling, if my mom would have said, what type of sibling would you like? Would you like a younger sister? Would you like an older sister? Would you like an older brother? Would you like a twin? Whatever. My choice would be a younger brother. I've always wanted a younger brother. So the chance to play a character who has a younger brother that he loves so much and sacrifices so much for really meant a lot to me. I think that's, again, one of the reasons why I found myself so emotionally invested in that show, because I connected to several elements of the character. and his relationship with other people. You know, people try to make, you know, yaoi